Howdy and welcome. It's Wednesday, July 23rd into Thursday, July 24th, live and direct from the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. This is Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. First things first, if you haven't done so yet, please get down there in the corner, smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Here's on that line. Tigers. You know, they say the Major League Baseball season, 162 games, 6 months marathon, is a pardon me, is a tickling in the throat there, sinus drainage. I've got a sinus infection right now. You might be able to tell by the voice, by the way. Anyway, they say the baseball season is a series of peaks and valleys. Well, having gone 1-9 in their last 10, is this the Tigers' valley? Culminating in a 3-game sweep by the Pittsburgh Pirates, last place team in the National League Central. Second worst record in all of baseball, I think, only in front of the Colorado Rockies. Not good. And don't get me wrong, folks. Please don't. I think the world of Dan Dickerson. I think he's a marvelous play-by-play guy. He's right up there. To me, he's right up there with the big boys. He's very good. But I often tend to think he may have missed his calling, like maybe he should have been a used car salesman. Do you believe everything Dan tells you out over the air? Before every game started, prior to the start of every game in this series against the Pirates, he's telling us how good their pitching is. Now, some people may tend to believe that, but me naive or gullible enough to believe everything that this man says. Folks, that simply isn't true. It's a bad team. As Bill Parcells would always say, you are what your record says you are. Pirates are a crap team with crap ownership who doesn't put any money into their team at all. Yes, they've got a beautiful facility that they play in. They do not draw well. I think half the people are there to see see them play their opponents. Just a bad team. And I'm sorry, Dan. I can't believe everything you're telling me. Anyway, so much for Troy Melton. The Troy Melton experiment. Maybe that should be the name of a movie. The Troy Melton experiment. Up from Toledo. You almost had the feeling once McCutchen homered, like what, the second batter into the game today? Once he homered, the game was over right there. Okay, he comes out in the second inning, a seeing eye ground ball, single. All right, but then he walked the next 2 batters. It gives up a grand slam to some guy named Horowitz. Horowitz hit a grand slam. He had a good series. Maybe he'll end up in the Jewish Hall of Fame, Baseball Jewish Hall of Fame. No. Boy. Law firm of Horowitz and Horowitz. Okay. Anyway, this guy had a good series against us. So the Tigers right now are 60 and 43. Not too long ago, they were 25 games over 500. Now they're just 17. That's because they went 1-9 in their last 10. Oh. Anyway, they start a series against the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow night. Reese Olson is on the mound for us because he has been placed on paternity leave for the next couple of days. Tarik Skubal apparently will be starting Saturday's game versus some guy named Max Scherzer. That should be a great game. It should be a great weekend at Comerica Park. Apparently, it'll be hot, steamy. I guess there is a possibility of some rough and tumble weather tomorrow night, but it'll be a hot, steamy weekend at Comerica Park. Gosh, I don't know. Dan also made the comment today, and this one was true. He was right when he said there are very few threats in the Pirates lineup, and that's right. He's true. What does that say about the Tigers lineup? I didn't see every inning of each game that they just played with the Pirates. I don't recall. I don't recall a single inning in which the Pirates went in order, 1, 2, 3. It seemed like they had base runners in every inning of every game here. Anyway, Mr. Melton, Troy Melton, relinquished 6 runs the first 3 innings of this game. As I said, he gave up the grand slam to this guy named Horowitz in the second inning. It was 5-0 there. They tacked on another run. Look, they hit it's a big ballpark in Pittsburgh, and then they hit several fly balls that they were playing in. Maybe if they were playing in Comerica, would have been home runs. But pardon me, a lot of good swings. So if Cleveland beats Baltimore tonight, I think they'll be just 8 games back, and they seemed like it was 14 not that long ago, or 15. They after losing 10 in a row, the Guardians I think have gone 11-2 in their last 13, something like that. Boy, that's a funny game, isn't it? Hard to figure out. Anyway. Tigers are home now. They've got these 4 games against the Blue Jays. Follow that up with 3 against the Diamondbacks just before the trade deadline, which right now is a week from tomorrow or 8 days away, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. I don't know. Even if you were to bring in Eugenio Suarez now, I'm not sure that would make much of a difference in this lineup right now. So many easy outs, a lot of strikeouts. Then, of course, there was last night, a couple of brain farts. Torkelson and Wenceel Perez not touching home plate after tagging up on a sac fly. Boy. This is certainly up to law. This certainly has to be. This is our valley. Let's hope it's up from here on in. But it's hard to say right now who the best team in the American League is right now. You'd have to say Toronto, I guess, as good as they've been playing. Anyway, Reese Olson goes tomorrow night. Outside of Skubal, of course, he's been our most effective starter. He started last Friday night, the first game back after the All-Star game. He pitched 7 scoreless innings. That was the game that Cantley came in the 8th, gave up a 2-run double. They lost that game 2-0. But Reese Olson was very good. Let's hope he's good tomorrow night. If they ever needed a good pitch, and it would behoove them too, by the way, to get the lead. Because these 3 games with the Pirates were very similar. The Pirates jumped off to an early lead in all 3 games, and it was, to have a word, not for a Torkelson double and a Verling single, they would have got shut out again today. I was kind of hoping they would. So, Anyway, enough about the Tigers. We get our commercial obligations out of the way. I did want to mention too that the UFL is pulling the Lions, pulling the Michigan, pulling the Lions. I'm about to talk about the Lions. They're pulling the Michigan Panthers out of Detroit again for the second time. I don't know where they're going, but they won't be. The last couple of years, I think they played their home games at Ford Field. I think their admission was $10 a head. Attendance was not very good, and because of that, they are pulling the Panthers once again out of Michigan. I don't know where they're going, but the Michigan Panthers will be no more. As I said, I never went to any of their games. Admission, the price was right, but for the second time now, it just has not worked out here for the Michigan Panthers. So, like I said, I don't know where they're headed, but their history in this area. So, let's do this. If you're planning on hitting the road this summer, and I think most of you are, make your first stop Frank Beck Chevrolet. Let Beck Service Pros make sure your vehicle is ready for any trip. Beck can check all the belts, the hoses, the electrical connections to make sure there are no surprises out there waiting for you. You get in there, let them also check the brakes, the tires, especially the cooling and the air conditioning units. At the top of all the fluids, as I said, check the tires, and there you are. You're ready to go. Pardon me. Boy, so wherever your vacation plans take you around this great state or this great country of ours, make sure your vehicle can make that trip. Call the service department at 517-849-2886 to make your appointment, or stop into Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. Follow them on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come experience the Frank Beck Chevrolet difference. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Chevy Drive, Southern Michigan. And of course, Frank Beck Chevrolet is indeed the #1 Chevrolet settling dealer in our tri-state area. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance on the corner of M99 and US 12 in downtown Jonesville. 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, that's barrettins.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. As I said, in downtown Jonesville on the corner of M99 and US 12. 517-849-1000. barrettins.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. Alex Anzalone, yesterday at Lions camp, they did not practice today. Had a rather incoherent or bizarre impromptu session with the media, which he took some questions yesterday morning at practice. He never really answered anything specifically. I think all you can take from it, look, all we know right now is he's there. He's at camp. He's not practicing right now. Does he want a new deal? Yes, he's in the last year of his current deal. Says he has a bad hamstring. I rather doubt that. Says he's not happy, but he wants to be there with his teammates, so that's fine. He'll play this year. I have no doubt something will get done one way or another. I think by the time you got a couple of veterans who one isn't even in camp right now, not even signed. Zadarius Smith, I think by Labor Day, which will be the week before the season starts in Green Bay, I think by Labor Day you'll see Alex Anzalone with a new contract, maybe a 2-year deal, maybe. I don't see him getting a 3-year deal. And I think Zadarius Smith will also be in camp. I think if he were going to go anywhere else, he would have signed by now. He's still out there. He hadn't signed with anybody. The only problem is he's more of a one-trick pony at this point of his career. He's a pass rusher, and that's it. He's not a run stopper anymore. Good news too was that Jason Benetti and TJ Lang, the sideline reporters for the Detroit Lions radio network on all the Lion games with Dan Miller and Lomas Brown, will be doing the preseason games with Jason Benetti. They'll be doing 3 games. Of course, initially the Hall of Fame game on the 31st. That's NBC. That'll be Tirico and Collinsworth. But the next 3 games after that, the week after that, the game in Atlanta. And then the following 2 games at home against the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. Jason Benetti will be doing the play-by-play, and TJ Lang will be doing the color on the Detroit Lions statewide television network. That's good. Glad to hear that. I think it might have been the best news I got all day when I heard that he was going to be doing that. So before I tell you, a couple of days ago, ESPN.com came out with their list 1 through 32 of the top NFL rosters, ranking them 1 through 32. I'll tell you where the Lions came in on that list and the other teams in the NFC North. Let's get this out of the way first. If you don't know it by now, we wouldn't be doing this podcast without the assistance of Tim Lindley at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. Boy, how am I get by doing this? 37 Walden Street, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive. 517-610-5372. Tech services. Any technical issues, sales, or anything involving tech service. This is the guy. This is the only place you can go around here. Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, 37 Waldron Street, maybe about 100 yards west of Howell. The only place to go for any tech sales, service, computers never used, flat screen TV, mounting, programming, perhaps you're changing internet providers, you need that installed, printers, never used, anything at all. Please, folks, get in there and see them. Tim Lindley and his crack staff, more than capable of resolving any technical issues you may have at all. Not only that, he's one of the nicest people you're ever going to want to meet. So get in there and see them. Please see them. And if you have any tech issues at all, that's the only place you got to go, right there. Like I said, 517-610-5372, 37 Walden Street, downtown Hillsdale. When you get in there, tell me, make you essential, will you please? Thank you very much. So, NFL.com. It's been 2 or 3 days ago now. Hey, come on, phone. Come on. Here we go. Published a list ranking the NFL rosters 1 through 32. Ranking the NFL rosters 1 through 32. I don't have time to go down the entire list, but I will give you the top 10. This is per ESPN.com. Rosters, ranking of the rosters. Number 1, the Baltimore Ravens, top roster in the NFL. Can't argue with any of the teams on this list. Number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, your Detroit Lions. So according to ESPN.com, the Lions have the second best roster in the National Football Conference. Coming in at number 3. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills. Number 5, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 6, the Denver Broncos. Number 7, the Washington Commanders. By the way, you think Donald Trump has the power to prevent the Commanders from building a new stadium if they don't change their name back to the Redskins? Chew on that for a while. Number 8, the LA Rams. Number 9, the Cincinnati Bengals. And number 10, the San Francisco 49ers. Minnesota Vikings came in at 11. They think the Vikings have the 11th best roster in all the NFL. The Green Bay Packers at 14. The Chicago Bears at 15. So that means everybody in the NFC North made the top 15 list on the ESPN.com roster ranking. It's a good division. NFC North is a very good division, and I can't argue at all with any team on this list. Lions are 3, Vikings 11, Packers 14, Bears 15. Anyway, briefly, and then we'll get out of here. Here's what they had to say about the Lions. Their biggest strength, running back. The author says, I could have gone safety or offensive tackle, but the Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery duo is elite. Elite. Since 2023, Lion running backs have produced a league high 5,960 yards and 57 touchdowns. That's 718 yards and 8 more touchdowns than any other team. Gibbs led the NFL. I got a quick bulletin here. I'll pass it along to you before we get out of here. Gibbs led the NFL with 20 TDs last season. I didn't realize that. He led the NFL with 20 touchdowns last season, and Montgomery produced 1,000 plus total yards for the 6th season in a row, despite missing 3 games. They go on to say their biggest weakness could be the interior of the offensive line because of the retirement of Ragnow and the loss of Kevin Zeitler. I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but X Factor. Offensive coordinator John Morton, former offensive coordinator Ben Johnson often seemed to provide the Lions with a schematic advantage. The big question this season, to what degree was the case, and can Morton do the same? Detroit Lions title hopes rest quite a bit on the answer to that question. I think he's absolutely right. A couple of things. Quickly, a couple of things. Graham Glasgow, as far as the Lions offensive line goes, he told Dave Burkett earlier in the week, who's the beat writer for the Free Press, he's glad to be back on the right side. That tells me he's going to be playing right guard. Christian Mahogany at left guard. Tate Ratledge will be your center. I have no doubt he can handle that. I think Tate Ratledge is a future, will be a Hall of Famer one day. I think that much of him. Before we get out of here, too, I think the Tigers have announced Kerry Carpenter will be coming back off the injured list. And he could very well be in the lineup tomorrow night at Comerica Park. That's good news. Okay. All right. Friday. I will talk to you all again on Friday. Don't forget Saturday, Timeout Show with Andy and Jed. Here locally at WCSR 92.1 from 9 to 10. As I said, I will next talk to you on Friday night. So until then, have a good rest of your evening. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. We've got some pretty hot weather coming in the next week or so. So please make sure you're in some air conditioning and stay hydrated. Thanks so much for watching and listening. I'll talk to you all again on Friday. So until then, have a good rest of your evening. Remember, please treat each other with respect. Thank you so much for watching and listening. So long, everybody.